Alright, thank you for tuning in to TTV. I'm your host, Toya, and today is Communion Sunday. Now, I know I usually do some kind of demonstration for you guys on Sunday, but I wanted to talk about something else today. And this is where I figured it fit in. So, we talk a lot on this channel about the things that you put inside your body and about healing and the meditation and things like that. But one of the things that gets neglected the most is some of the things that we put on our skin or some of the things that we use every day. Now, before I get to explaining, I just want to say this. You will never be 100% toxin free, free of bacteria, free of viruses, free of chemicals in your system. You will never be 100% clear of anything, any of that. As long as you are breathing air, drinking water, going to the beach, eating food, like as long as you're doing any of that, you will never be 100% free. But what you can do is minimize the amount that you take in and minimize the amount that you put on your skin, which again is what you take in, because what you put on your skin does end up inside your system. So I wanted to go over some of the things that I do to try to minimize the amount of chemical intake that I do, that I get in different ways that I also use to help strengthen my body. So right here, I'm going to start with this. So let me bring this over here. So this is just lotion, okay? Just regular lotion. I'm not going to tell you the brand. If you figure it out, that's on you. But this is just lotion. And if you can see this section right here, this is all the chemicals. Even if you can't read it, that's all the chemicals that are inside of this. So these chemicals end up on your skin and end up in your body. Okay? So one of the ways that I try to alleviate that is I make my own stuff. Now, this is an experiment that I made, so I don't sell this. I do sell stuff on my website under Divine Guidance, just not this one. But this is something that's safe to put on your skin because there are herbs in here. I have shea butter. I have jojoba oil. Like there's different stuff that's in here, olive oil, that my body would enjoy and love. And so I use that instead of in place of lotion. So I remove all these chemicals that I'm putting on my skin that will get absorbed into my body. And I use something else that's just as good. As you can see, you know, my hands are nice and moisturized. The one that I sell, though, I put arrowroot in it, so it's not as greasy as this. But, because when you deal with shea butter and oils and stuff, it tends to get greasy. But that's for the lotions that I use. Another thing I do is, well, this I was just going to share with y'all, so I'll do that one last. Another thing I do is naturally made soap. Now, this is the one that I make. It's just a gentle cleansing bar. That's all it is. I don't do anything fancy. Didn't put any fragrances in it. It's just a gentle cleansing bar. So this one is naturally made. I know exactly what's in here. I know the oils I use, the lye I use. Like I know all the ingredients in here. And as you can see, I have them listed. This is it. This is it. This row right here. That's it for ingredients. Okay. So it says olive oil, palm oil, coconut oil, sodium hydroxide, and sodium lactate. That's it. That's what makes our soap. That's in its basic form. And then you can get the creative ones that are naturally made. Like this is the one that a friend of mine makes. This is a loafa bar. What do they call it? Loafa. Yeah. So as you can see, it's the loafa is in there, which is also a natural scrubber for your body in soap that she made. Ingredients rubbed off, but that's one she made. Here's another one she made, oatmeal. You know, she does all the fancy stuff. I don't do the fancy stuff, at least not yet. But as you can see in here, her ingredients: olive oil, coconut oil, palm oil, sweet almond oil, castor oil, distilled water, sodium hydroxide, and she puts fragrance and colloidal oatmeal. So ingredients you can read. So this isn't going to give you all those chemicals like it will with commercial soap. Another thing about commercial soap as well is they put a lot of extra stuff in it to keep it and make it foam up really well. So it adds extra chemicals to it to do that. So they put a lot more stuff in it to get it to lather like that. And it's really not necessary for your soap to lather like that because you're already getting cleansed by the ingredients that are in here. So, yeah. That's the one on the natural soaps. Another thing I do that I pay attention to is what I use to brush my teeth. Now, there's a story with this. It goes over there with that. So there's a story with this. I'm not a sponsor for any of this, okay? Just so you know, except for the stuff that I make. I'm not a sponsor for any of the products, anything I talk about today. But this is Neem Toothpaste, okay? Now I'm not gonna show you inside my mouth, but I always had a problem or had issues with cavities, and as I got older, it ended up being root canals. So I've had three teeth done in my lifetime where I had root canals. And the last one was was done by a different dentist, but the dentist I go to right now, they had to redo the cap because the cap broke. And so they were looking at it, and I think there was a cavity or two that they were worried about that they had to look into. And this last time when I went to go get my teeth cleaning back in January, December? I think it was January because I think it was right after Christmas. So in January when I went to go get my teeth cleaning, and the doctor, they do the x-rays and the doctor comes around and check your teeth and stuff. And he asked me, he said, okay, I'm not showing any issues. What are you doing? And I'm like, oh, okay, great, thank you. And he's like, okay. And he asked me again, what are you doing? And I'm like, I brush my teeth. I couldn't, he put me on the spot because I didn't think he was serious. So it caught me off guard. And then he actually took his gloves off, wheeled around in front of me and said, no, seriously, you have no issues. What are you doing? And I didn't think about it at the time. The only thing I could think of is that I told him, I said, well, I use a food grade peroxide with peppermint oil in it. And he said, well, what does that do? I said, well, I use food grade in case I swallow it. It's not going to be detrimental. I'm not swallowing any chemicals that's going to hurt me. I said, and the peppermint oil, I know it oxygenates the gums. But that was like all I could think of to tell him. I'm like, because I'm not going to lie to you any more than I would the dentist. I don't floss on a regular basis. I floss when when it's needed, or I think about it. Even though I got the little ones that you ain't got to do, still I don't think about it. So when I got home that night and I went to go brush my teeth, it was this. This is what I use. Now this is a non-fluoride toothpaste. I stopped using fluoride toothpaste some years ago. I don't even remember how many years, but it's been a while. And the reason is because if you look it up, fluoride is actually poisonous. It's actually a toxin, like a serious toxin. They use it in rat poison, okay? And I didn't want to keep putting that in my system, brushing my teeth with it. So I stopped using fluoride toothpaste. Now this one I just started using probably about 8 months ago. I don't even think it's been a full year. And that's what was so surprising to the dentist, because in a short period of time, my teeth, the issues and things in my teeth were improved, and I had no issues. And it is because this toothpaste right here. This is a neem toothpaste, okay? Neem is a remarkable plant, native to India, I believe. I believe that's where it grows native. They use it in a lot of their hair oils. They use it with their teeth. They use it on their skin for, dermatology issues. Like, neem gets used a lot. It's up there with like moringa and some of your sea mosses and like that. It has a multi-purpose, okay, because it's a great herb. So you can look that up. Maybe I'll do a video on it later because I do have some neem leaves I can show you. This is the one I'm about to go to because this was out of stock and I needed some more toothpaste, so I bought this one. And I think, depending on how this goes, I might switch to this one because this one has black seeds in it, which if you don't know what black seed oil is, you can look it up too. It has great benefits. Baking soda, neem extract, which is what they made the toothpaste out of, mint oil, and clove. The only thing I don't like is they use spearmint. I don't like spearmint. And I think it's because when I was a kid, they used to make me take Pepto-Bismol. But this is a neem toothpaste. This one is actually cheaper than this. Okay, this one is about $6. And you don't need a lot. I use a pea-size amount. So this was like $5. So, and you can get both of them on Amazon. But just neem toothpaste. And it made a remarkable difference with my oral health, okay? And then I talked to you about the food grade peroxide, which is what I use. That's what this is. So this is concentrated, but it is a food grade peroxide. Peroxide is a beautiful thing for your body, okay? Outside and in. There are some people who have reversed some of their conditions by consuming peroxide. Um, I don't do that because I don't feel comfortable with that. But I still got a food grade in case if I'm, brushing my teeth or something happens and I end up swallowing, I don't have to feel like I just swallowed a bunch of chemicals. But on the outside of your skin, it can oxygenate. There is actually a lady who was saying that she worked in a doctor's office, and part of their routine was is that they would send their patients home with a bottle of peroxide to put on their skin because it would help with a lot of their internal conditions. Because again, your skin is your largest organ. Now they just use the regular cheap stuff at the dollar store or grocery store, wherever you get it, your drugstore. Um, me, the ones that you get at the store, okay, they have extra chemicals in it outside of just the hydrogen peroxide. I got brain freeze for a second. They have other stuff in it besides just the hydrogen peroxide in it, which is why I stopped using it. Because at first, when I first started, switching to peroxide as a mouthwash, I was using the regular stuff, and I came across some information where I think it will tear up your tooth enamel, and it does some other stuff. You can look it up, which is why I switched to the food grade peroxide. Now, again, this is concentrated. It comes with a little bottle like this. When you order it off of Amazon, this is a 1 ounce bottle. So what I do is I usually just fill this up, and then I have a little tiny 6 ounce spray bottle of, store-bought commercial peroxide that I dumped out in, which I used in my laundry. Dumped out in my laundry, and then I just reuse the bottle, and I fill this up, and then fill the rest of it up with water. This is a bigger bottle that I did that with, and this is the one I'm using to put on my skin. Okay, so after I take my shower, scrub with my brush, I use this. So that's one of the ways you can help with minimize the amount of chemicals you put on your skin, because this will actually oxygenate your skin as well as help to cleanse it and revitalize it. And again, the properties, like the lady was saying, and I'll try to find a video and put it below, but she was saying that peroxide had a number of benefits and could help you even with some of your conditions that you have internally. Again, let me go back to a disclaimer too. So number one, I am not a sponsor for anything that I'm showing you guys right now, okay? I'm just a person just showing you what I do, what I use, and why, and how to minimize the amount of chemicals that you take inside your body. Outside of the stuff I sell, that's it, okay? And also the things that I'm saying have not been approved by the FDA. Consult your doctor or physician before you start anything new as far as supplements. Like if you're going to use peroxide, talk to your doctor first, okay? Research it first, okay? Do your due diligence first, okay? Because like I said, it hasn't been approved by the FDA and, all the rest of that disclosure. The other thing I wanted to show you guys is, now I debated on showing this to you guys. I really did. And the reason is because when I thought about sharing it with you guys, I was looking at it and I'm like, I don't know if this actually do what it say it do. But this is a filtered shower head. And this is what it is. So this is like the charcoal part that's supposed to cleanse the water. This has an actual stopper on it. My original one didn't. But this has a stopper on it. To where you can stop the flow of water, and then it goes through this citrus acid bubble up here and then out. Okay, and I wanted to show you guys because it's actually time for me to change this, as you can see, because this is clear and no longer yellow. But it has little refills that you can get that come like this. And I got this on Amazon. I think it was about $20. So it's the mineral balls. So mineral balls, and it has charcoal in it as well, and it's supposed to filter and clean out the water. Now I will say this, my skin doesn't feel as harsh or as dry as it used to. Even on the days where I forget to, or I'm too tired to put lotion on. But it's real easy to change out. But I want to do a test on this to see if it actually works. I don't have, it's a device that's called, it's a particle reader. And it'll tell you the number of particles that are in your water or whatever liquid it is you're using. So let me dump this out so you guys can see. Yeah, but it's a particle reader. And I want to see if this actually works works like it says. So you see how I just popped that out? And put that in the sink because it still got water in it. Because they also have one that's for the tub. And since I'm starting to take a lot more baths, which I'm going to tell you why in a second. I'm taking a lot more baths now. See how I just popped that in there? Screw it back on. And now I can put this back on and it's all good to go. Now this has to be changed once a month. This every 3 months. But it's inexpensive. It doesn't cost much. I don't remember the full price, but it doesn't cost much. Yeah. But they have one for the tub as well. And I want to see, I need to get a particle reader so I can see if it actually does reduce the amount and filter the water. But anyway, that's what I use for my shower head. And I told you about the baths because I take a lot of more baths, so I'm thinking about getting one to filter the water in the tub, the water that comes out in the tub. And the reason is I do what's called a sacred bath, and I might do a whole video on it for you. Or no, I did it last week. Yeah, I did last Sunday. What I have here, did I do it last Sunday? No, I didn't. Anyway, I might, if I haven't done a video on it, I'll do one for you. So I do a sacred bath, and it's an internal cleansing as well as rejuvenating for the body. And what I do is this is a combination of the pink Himalayan salt as well as Epsom salt. So this is what I have in here. So I'll put some of this in there, and then I have my herbal blend. This one is primarily rosemary, which I did a video on that. So rosemary is very rejuvenating. Especially with the nerves and circulation and things like that. So when you put it in your tub water, it actually will help to improve those conditions. But again, my disclaimer, which is below, the full disclaimer. But in here, I have green tea, I have hibiscus tea, and those are just tea packages I just opened up and dumped in here. I know it's some rosemary in here. Honestly, I just put whatever comes to me to put in here. If I get the feeling to put it in here, I put it in here. And then I just use a bag like this with the herbs in it. And I throw this in my tub. And I like this because you can do the loose ones, but it makes a huge mess in your bathtub, which is why I use a net like this. And eventually I will sell this and put this together for you guys so you can just order it. Probably next month, because we're almost halfway through this month. And there's some other stuff I'm working to put on my website. But this is the sacred bath. And it's sacred because it's time that I use to cleanse myself, to cleanse my outside as well as the inside. Because I sit there and I meditate and I think about the issues that I've had or the things that have come up throughout the week. And I think about it, I process it, and as the water drains out, I let that problem drain out along with it. So that's why it's called a sacred bath, because it's a sacred time for you. Any alone time is going to be a sacred time. So this is what I use for that bath. So these are how I try to, not including this. That was just something I just threw in because I wanted to share with y'all. But this is how I help to minimize the amount of chemicals that I take into my body and through my skin and just through daily practices. Even with my hair, I try to minimize and watch what it is that I put even in my hair, because again, it's soaking in through your scalp. So just be conscious of that. I'm not saying you have to be, fanatical about it, but it is something to consider and think about, because again, what you put on your skin actually ends up inside your body as well. So we want to reduce the amount of chemicals, reduce the amount of toxins, and reduce the amount of the problems that we have that we put into our body for our body to work out, because our body works a lot, okay? Like I said, if you breathe air, drink water, eat food, go outside, in the ocean, on the sand, like any of that, you're going to have toxins and things, which is why detoxing and, doing things to help release and pull toxins out and strengthen your immune system is really one of the best things you can do for your body. So this is what I do. I shared it with you guys. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.